At this time, we're joined by Sporting Kansas City head coach Raphaël Wicky. We'll start with an opening comment before opening up to questions from the media.
Good evening, everyone. So before we begin with questions, I know there has been a lot of speculations about Dejan, but at the moment nothing is finalized. So we thought it was best not to include him in tonight's game. So if there is something to announce in the upcoming hours or days, the club will do that. I'm happy to take questions now from you about the game.
With that, we'll open it up to questions from the media. First question will go to Daniel Sperry from the Kansas City Star. Daniel, your line is open.
Hey, just obviously with the rumors about all that flying around, how much do you feel? How do you feel the team? Where do you feel like the team's headspace was at going into this game tonight? Maybe with a lot of movement swirling, not just with that potentially out there, but with Manu earlier in the week. Do you feel like the guys had the right kind of headspace, and how do you felt like they kind of grew into the game throughout it?
Yes, I feel like they had the right headspace already in the last game against St. Louis at home, and also this game. They actually have reacted really, really well. They prepared the game very professional, so yes, their head is in the right space. So I don't think this had an influence in their mindset. And I also believe that I can say this with belief because I feel like we started the game well. I feel like before Atlanta scores, we have 2-3 really good moments where we just have to be more clinical in the final pass, in the decision. Are we shooting? Are we crossing? We had a lot of box entries. We had our moments before they actually then opened the first goal. So yes, I believe that they were in the right space. And overall, you asked me about how I felt, how they grew in the game. I believe that this performance again is so much better than 3-4 months ago, but it's very, very frustrating because we give the game away again with a set piece, which is concentration, responsibility, and we have to man up there. We have to become better in that. In set pieces. Last week in St. Louis, it was a free kick where we turn our bodies around. Here is a free guy, and it is not the first time this year. So in these moments, we have to man up and take our responsibilities more, because those are very, very important moments in games where if you don't concede, you're in this game. And we told the team in halftime, hey, we have our chances. We had even we were 2-0, we had chances with Capita, we had Calvin. We had entries in the box. We moved the ball up, so we knew that we can come back. We need not to concede a third one and to score a goal, and we're back in. And I feel that's what I've seen the whole second half. It's just very frustrating that then, when the little moments are there for us, we're just not clinical enough to then get a point here, because I believe that we would have deserved a point tonight.
I wanted to ask about especially the second half, the way you guys were able to really keep Atlanta from building anything out for the most part. I mean, any of their chances that did come were just kind of like a long ball on the top, and hopefully somebody runs into it. What did you tweak anything with the press, or how did you feel like the press was working to kind of keep Atlanta so pinned in front of their half and not be able to play out of the pressure?
Yeah, we showed 2-3 clips to a few guys in terms of positioning of press. We didn't really change, we just tried to adjust our positioning. I believe that our rest defense was way better in the second half, because what Atlanta did is they tried to cheat a little bit with Miranchuk. They're not really going back to defend. So if our rest defense is not good or not great, which in certain moments in the first half it wasn't, then when we lose a ball, they find these guys, and then it's very difficult because they're really good players. So we tweaked that a bit around, and I felt like that's probably also why we were able to regain a ball quicker when we lost it, why they couldn't really easily find their guys to go into counterattacks. But that's it, and then we told the team, hey, we have our chances, we can move that ball up, and we just have to be more clinical in the final third, or in and around the box actually.
Our next question will go to Chad Smith with the Kansas City Soccer Journal. Chad, your line is open.
Hey, Coach. Sorry for the result. I was wondering, how tough is it to adjust suddenly when your starting striker, the leading goal scorer, is not in the lineup, particularly when your team is kind of heavy on attackers? You put 4 out there for most lineups, and now you only have 5 for the entire game available.
Look, Dejan scored half of our goals. Does it help Dejan not to have Dejan tonight? But if he has an injury or a yellow card or something, or is sick, he's also not there. So it's an opportunity for the other players. It's an opportunity for Taylor, who's now back. It's an opportunity for Shoppy, for Stephen Afrifa. Capita and Calvin anyway play a lot. So it's an opportunity for those guys. And that's how I see it. Is it easier when you have your top goal scorer there? Of course. But I try then to work with the players I have. And I see it and I tell them it's an opportunity for you guys. That's how I have to approach it. Everything else, I don't think it helps me.
And then I know that you're not the one making the signings, but obviously from the outside, you have two designated players going into the week, and both of them leave. You've obviously made an addition that hasn't arrived yet, but do you kind of have like a message to the fan base in terms of like what the plan is to replace these? Have you and David had conversations about that at all?
I will really defer to David for these comments. Once something has to be announced about Dejan and really both TPs are gone, I think then David will for sure give some comments. I will try to focus on the team, the performance, the training, and make them ready for the next game.
And then Jake Davis unfortunately went down in the first half. I don't know if you've talked to your training staff yet, or if you have any idea what it looked like it was left knee that he was favoring.
Yeah, it was something on the knee, but I don't have information right now on what exactly it is, to be honest.
Our next question will go to Daniel Sperry. Daniel, your line is open again.
I wanted to ask about you talked about the need for more clinical moments in the area. It felt like, I think there's one play in the first half that it really showed up where Capita probably could have shot and he was trying to lay it off and make the extra pass. Is it just making more decisive decisions and more goal-focused decisions in those moments? Is it trying to make a play like that to maybe a cutback is the better option for a better shot? Like what creates that ultimately the high quality chance, the high XG chance, the borderline sure goal?
Look, if he makes this pass and that pass goes into the center and whoever was there can put it into the empty goal, it was fantastic. If he shoots and it goes in, it's fantastic. It's more about being 100% convinced in what you do in the final third. Either shoot or pass or cross or take an extra touch and be calm and be relaxed. I mean, we had an action before that. I think we stole a ball in their opponent's half, and we have so much space then to go and to attack them. They were, I think, their fullbacks were high up, and those are moments which that's what I mean with being more clinical, with being more calm in the decision making and in the right dosage of the pass we're choosing, and that is because those are moments where you can then punish teams, and we ourselves in this season have been punished a lot in these moments, and that's just what we have to do better, because we are putting so much effort in defending, and we're doing this so much better, and we're stealing balls, and then it's like, okay, let's now, when we then win the ball, can we not rush but make clear decisions? For me, it's more that.
Please, Stephen, congrats on the goal. Shame for the result tonight, but can you just kind of talk us through, you get to come into the game, you make an impact as a sub. What's that like coming off the bench, and what did you see on the goal?
First of all, good opportunity coming off the bench. Got a little run and try to make the most of it. Coach wanted us to come in there, bring energy, understood that guys were tired, so use that to our advantage. And with the goal, again, I feel like it was a little fortunate dropping back to me the way it did. And again, finish, didn't really think much of it. It's a finish we work on a lot with Dom in training, so just more muscle memory, and just glad that it went in.
And then tonight you were asked to come in kind of a striker when we primarily, I would say, seen you on the wing. I know you played some striker in college. You and I were talking the other day about Cal Harris kind of being the key to this team playing better. Then you come in and replace him. What would you say it is to play striker, and then what was it like? Like, what do you offer different than what Taylor does out there?
Not much different. Again, I feel like anywhere I'm on the field, speed is a big factor for me. So I can say maybe that's the one difference. But coming in as striker, again, haven't played there in a while, but we play football every day. We rotate around, guys get to be in different spots, so it's not much different. Feel like just there's more physicality and contact with the center backs than being out wide. But again, that's just something that we work through. and yeah, it wasn't much different. And again, I just want to come in and be helpful. So wherever I'm asked to play, I'm more than happy to.
Next question will go to Daniel Sperry with the Kansas City Star. Daniel, your line is open.
I just wanted to ask about, the way the team played in the second half. You were out there for a good part of it. What do you think was the key to how you guys were able to really pin Atlanta back there? Felt like they really couldn't get out of their own half for most of the entire half.
Yeah. Again, props to the guys for the second half. The energy was definitely raised from the first, and again, we understand how we play as a team. Our coaches have been harping on us for our repress in situations where we lose the ball and just working as hard as we can to get it back. And we showed in the second half. Every time they try to get out, we took the ball right back and kept the attack on. Again, this is what we look for 90 minutes of the game, but it's good to see that we had it in the second half. So hopefully something that we can improve on.
Next question will go back to Chad Smith. Chad, your line is open again.
Hey, Stephen. So I know that Dayon was held out of the game. Rafa told us that, nothing finalized with that yet. But what is it like when you have a guy that basically plays every minute of every game and then suddenly he is unavailable right before you go into a big game?
I would say it's a difference. Not too major for us. Again, we all understand what it takes to be in the attacking position. So yeah, we definitely could say that we missed him, but yeah, just next man up, and yeah, just try to move on from there.
Final question will go back to Daniel Sperry. Daniel, your line is open again.
Just want to ask, the performance against St. Louis was a good performance. Maybe not the right result. You probably feel really good about the second half performance today. How big is it to kind of stack some of those back to back and trying to get momentum here, especially through the final stretch of the season? And I know you guys don't want to end up in last place, so I feel like that has to feel some kind of good to stack up performances and halves like that in the way that you have in recent weeks.
Yeah, obviously results haven't been what we wanted, but with the performances second half and the whole St. Louis games, it shows that we can do it and we have the ability to, which is it gives us a lot of motivation just because we understand that it is possible to do it. And that's just little details that we have to focus on, little mistakes that we're making that are putting us out of these zones that we can get into. So yeah, again, it's just something unfortunate. It hurts, obviously, losing and not getting the result, but just seeing that we can be this team that can push and be on top of games is really good.